work. They won't turn on unless you have everything aligned properly. That's going to push in this little spot here on the machine. So on this machine, the pin is going to depress this part here. On this machine, it's going to depress in the back. So you want to kind of look for that, and then you want to look at your bowl and figure out where this pin is that I'm talking about. So there's nothing on this side of the bowl. I can see there's this thing right here. That's the pin that has to push into there in order for this to actually turn on. It's a safety feature. So you want to put your bowl on first and lock that into place. So I'm going to do that on both of these. Here again, the pin is in the back, my handle's in the front. I'm going to put the bowl on, lock that into place. All right, in this machine I'm going to show you how to use the shredding disc. So we can use this on like our cucumbers, we could use this on carrots, anything we want to shred, cheese, quickly, we can use this. So this is the shredding disc, and then this is the little attachment tool for this one. So this attachment tool will go onto different discs. Okay, so it snaps in, and then this goes on. And then you're going to put on your lid. Again, you want to look for this part with the pin in it and make sure that's all aligned. So this goes on, lines up with the handle. And then you have two different size feed tubes. So this big feed tube has to be in place or the machine won't turn on. This little feed tube and this thing here, which is a pusher, can be used if you are feeding little tiny stuff through here to shred. If I were shredding like a big, like round vegetable or something like that, I would put it in here and then push it down with this. But this part has to be pushed in order for this whole thing to work. So I'm going to test it always before I try to put product in here and use it. If it turns on, it's ready to go, it's working. So with this shredding disc, what happens is if I were to feed a carrot through here and push it through with this, it's going to take and it's going to push the carrot against the shredding disc, and all of your carrot shreds are going to come down here, or all of your cucumber shreds. So just keep an eye on how full this bowl is getting. Once it gets full, turn it off, open up the lid, empty it out. If you still have more product to shred, keep going. Notice on the sides of these that there are actually some lines. If you were doing any sort of liquids in here, there is a liquid max fill. So make sure if you were ever processing liquids that you don't go above that. If you filled it more than this full with liquid, or even if you went above and you were spinning and like the force of the machine was causing the liquid to go down there, it leaks all over. Big mess. Okay, with this one, I'm going to show you the blade. So there are a couple of different blades that the processors come with. The big one with the nice sharp teeth, very sharp, treat this like a knife, safety precautions just as you would. This is going to be used for mincing, chopping, blending, making things smooth, mincing, all of that. This blade with the shorter blades, that is much more dull looking. It doesn't have the sharp teeth. This is a dough blade. I would use this if I was making like pasta dough or any kind of like yeast dough. Alright, so I'm going to show you this one. This is what you would use if you wanted to like rough chop onions or mince garlic or chop nuts or process something and make it smooth. So you put the blade in, you put your product in, you put your lid on. So this one, again, I have to find that part that's going to depress this pin in the back. And I'm going to turn that and make sure that that's locked into place. And then this won't turn on again unless I have the big feed tube pushed into here. So say I wanted to do something like minced garlic. I would trim the little woody part off the garlic. I'd put my garlic in here. And then rather than just turning it on and letting it run, I would pulse. So I'm going to pulse until I get the consistency of product that I want. Same thing if I was chopping onions. I'd probably quarter that onion and then just pulse it a few times until I had the size of the pieces that I wanted. If I wanted something more smooth, or if I wanted to chop things up really fine, I would probably pulse it at first and then go ahead and turn it on until it reaches that smooth consistency that I'm looking for. All right, questions on this one? Okay, The last one, these are Cuisinart's newest model of food processors. They're a little bit different. They have the pin and everything. It's a little bit harder to find though. So with these, I'm going to show you the slicing disc on this one. With these, it's the same thing. You have your bowl attachment that's going to go on and lock into place. This is going to go on the center, and then that is what is going to support the slicing disc. So again, this is a blade on here, nice and sharp. Be very careful. The nice thing about the new ones is that the slicing disc is adjustable. So I can turn this going from 1 all the way up to 6, and that's going to adjust the thickness of the product. So if I'm slicing cucumbers for salad and I want a thicker slice, I can adjust it so it's thicker. If I'm slicing real thin onions, I want a nice thin slice of onions, I can adjust it down. So you adjust it to where you want it. So this should kind of be flat with the lid. And then this lid again, it has the feed tubes. This is a little bit different though, it doesn't spin. You set it on in the front and then you push it to lock it in the back. So that should be all locked down. To get it off, you squeeze this little thing right here. So I'll show you that again. Set it on in the front and then push it to lock it in. Again, it's not going to turn on until we have this part of the feed tube that presses it down. So what would happen if I wanted to slice something similar to our shredding disc, say I wanted to slice those cucumbers, I would get my cucumber lined up in here and then I would use this to push it down. And so as soon as this engages the pin, it's going to push that product down and it's going to have all my slices formed down here. So a couple of things, always make sure you're looking to make sure this is all lined up and test it before you actually try to put product in there. And then just keep an eye on how full it's getting. Make sure you're paying attention to the liquid fill line if you're doing anything with liquids, and make sure you're using the right attachment. Questions?